costs, particularly the issue of the legal costs and professional fee. It's a one-off cost. Our listing costs a lot of money. I'm sure you are all aware. That cost will not repeat itself in the current year. So it's just a one-off cost that you saw. To list costs a lot of money. I don't want to. If you want to know the breakdown, you can approach us. We'll provide that. We have large board membership. It's a regulatory requirement. That is why the number is this high. When we listed the company at the stock exchange, a question was asked similarly. And we said that after 1 year, we will address the matter. Under CAMA, we have to retain this shareholdership, this directorship for 1 year before we can do something about it. So bear with us. We will definitely look into it. Minority shareholders' interests in board membership, we will look into it as we go forward via our registrar. They will advise us on the best way to accommodate them in going forward. Yes, minority will come and have their say, but the majority will have their way. We have a mention of high grants and donation. During the years, you can see all what we do. One of the most important things we do is that we support Lagos State Teaching Hospital here aggressively. So when they have a project, they will come to us. It's government-owned, but they are still looking for private support. Those are one of those things. And we have so many other. If you want a breakdown, come to see us. Send us an email or however. We'll give you a breakdown of how we spend those money, related pictures. One of the things we also do, you may say, hold on, why is it for Agege? At the beginning of every month, we spend almost 2 million in feeding over 1,000 people in Agege every month as a sort of corporate social responsibility. We support Bail of Mercy. We support so many other charities like that. So I believe that if we are making money, let our people also benefit from it. Then you talked about pension administration should be invited in our listing. It's a process that we need your approval on today. I understand what you're saying. Rather than go for debt, approach those people to come and be a major shareholder. We take that on board. Our representative, our list, our bond and future fundings are here. They will advise us on that very well. Our area of operation, I will let Mr. Wale answer that question. So I'm sorry, because he's looking at me. We tend to focus more in, I will say, three areas. The luxury market, the middle income market, and then the affordable market. So basically, in the past, what we have been doing mainly is I will say, affordable middle income. But we have also done a lot in Ikorodu. If you people know Ibeshe very well, in those days, we did partnership with the federal government where we built over 130 units in Ibeshe. We also have Ibeshe Garden, where we built another 34 units. So we have been involved in those markets very well. At the moment, we have over 100 acres of land in Majidu that we are at the moment working with governments, trade union to try and form a partnership so that we can do massive affordable housing in those areas. So we are not shying away from affordable housing at all. But aggressively in the past, we have been involved in luxury and middle income. So just bear with us. We are not, but Ijebu Ode and Songo, I don't know about those areas. I'm sorry to say. But we will see what can be done. What is important for us is that if you can give us off-takers of 100 units in Ijebu Ode, we will come and build there. If you can do in Songo, we'll come and build there. So those are the background. People for affordable are geared towards living in Ikorodu. That is why we have been there with them. The issue of staff costs. I must warn you and our shareholder that our staff cost is going nuts. When I say it's going nuts, it's going nuts. We were paying, our auditors has just arrived. You are welcome, sir. What you have in the previous year is what we used to pay, or even for last year, what we have been paying when we were not listed. Immediately we became listed, other companies has been approaching our staff. They want to take them. So we have to now go through a series of salary review. Someone who is working for us, an accountant, 120,000, is now working for a listed company, is now asking for 500,000. Cost of living has gone up. Our minimum wage in our company is 90,000. As compared to before, a year or 2 years ago, of about 30,000. So, costs.
My colleague has actually given the reason for our lateness. It's not unusual. It's not our usual character to be late. Now, okay. Then my name is Idris Alimi, FCA. I'm serving responsibility of presenting the auditor's report to the members of Haldane McCall Plc. Independent auditor's report to the shareholders of Haldane McCall Plc for the year ended 31st December 2024. We have audited the financial statements of Haldane McCall Plc, the company, which comprise the statement of financial position as at 31st December 2024, the statement of profit and loss, and other comprehensive income, changes in equity, statement of cash flows for the year then ended, the notes to the financial statements, including a summary of significant accounting policies. In our opinion, the financial statements give a true and fair view of the financial position of the company as at 31st December 2024. And the statement of profit or loss and other comprehensive and statement of cash flows for the year then ended in accordance with the International Financial Reporting Standards, the Company and Allied Matters Act, Capt. C-2011-2020, and the Financial Reporting Council of Nigeria Act 2011. Based of opinion, we conducted our audit in accordance with National Standard on Auditing, ISAs. Our responsibilities under those standards are further described in the auditor's responsibilities for the audit of the financial statements section of our report. We are independent of the company in accordance with the requirement of the Institute of Chartered Accountants of Nigeria, ICAN code, and other independent requirements applicable to performing audit of financial statements in Nigeria. We have fulfilled other ethical responsibilities in accordance with ICAN code and in accordance with the other ethical requirements applicable to performing audit in Nigeria. The ICAN code is consistent with the International Ethics Standard Board for Accountants Code of Ethics for Professional Accountants, Parts A and B. We believe the audit evidence we have obtained is sufficient and appropriate to provide a basis for our opinion. Key audit matter. Key audit matters are those matters that, in our professional judgment, were of most significance in our audit of the financial statements of the current period. These matters were addressed in the context of our audit of the financial statements as a whole and informing our opinion thereon. We do not provide a separate opinion on these matters. Let's go to page 32. Responsibilities of the directors for the financial statements. Let's go to. Okay. Well, the director's report is talking about responsibility of directors to prepare the assignment, and other information are also included. And our responsibility as auditors too are also highlighted on pages 30. And belief are necessary for the purpose of our audit. The operators have kept proper book of accounts so far as appears from our examination of those books. The estimates for position and comprehensive income are in agreement with the basis of account and returns. So that is our opinion on the account of the company for the year ended 31st December 2024. So then I have to just summarize significant highlights of the financial statements for the benefit of the shareholders. Revenue. The revenue increased from 1 point. You don't need that? Okay. So thank you very much. Yes, sir. Thank you.
James Cole to guide us on the process, the voting process.
They've read it. Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
Please proceed, Mrs. Cole.
Good morning, Mr. Chairman, esteemed directors, regulatory bodies, and distinguished shareholders. I will now proceed to explain the procedure for casting your votes. Prior to this meeting, we received and captured the voting details of 62 shareholders by proxy, holding 2,240,675,129 units of Haldane McCall Plc shares, which represents 71.77% of the company's issued share capital. At this meeting, we will be collating the votes cast by shareholders present, in addition to the proxies received, to arrive at the final results. Distinguished shareholders, during your accreditation, you were either given a voting device or an online voting access. Please follow these steps to capture your votes. For shareholders with a voting device, you will be required to activate your keypad by pressing any key before the voting commences. Please proceed to press any key on your voting device now. That automatically activates the voting device. Once we start the voting process, you can then proceed to select 1 to vote in favor of the resolution or 2 to vote against the resolution. The selection of any other key will be recorded as an abstained vote. For shareholders with online voting access, kindly log in using the voting link and the token provided, or refresh your screen if you already have signed in. The resolution under consideration will be displayed. Select 4, this is for online shareholders. Select 4 to vote in favor of the resolution or against to vote against the resolution. Kindly note that you can change your vote during the voting session, but once the voting period ends, the last selected choice will be recorded as your vote, and the voting session would only last for 60 seconds. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Mrs. James Cole. So we'll now proceed. The next item on our agenda is to approve the dividend of 7 kobo per share recommended by the directors and subject to your approval at this meeting. I hereby move that a dividend of 7 kobo per share in respect of the year ended December 31, 2024 be paid to all shareholders registered in the books of the company as at the close of business on May 15, 2025. Will someone please rise and second the motion? Please, gentlemen.
Thank you, my amiable chairman. The name is Engineer Victor Inyinaya. I second that motion.
Thank you very much, Engineer. I will now call on the registrars to conduct the voting process.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Distinguished shareholders, the voting process will now commence. Kindly let's proceed to vote in line with our voting decision. The voting session is on. Kindly vote. For those using the voting devices, press 1 to vote in favor of the resolution and 2 to vote against the resolution. For those voting online, the buttons for and against would appear. Proceed to select for if you want to vote in favor of the resolution, and against where you are voting against the resolution. The voting session is gradually coming to an end. The voting session has now ended, and we have 2,300,504,662 shares representing approximately 100% and voting in favor of the resolution, while we have 22,000 shares, approximately 0.0000% voting against the resolution. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Mrs. James Cole. I hereby declare that the motion has been carried. Since I am up for re-election, I will now call upon the company secretary, Mr. Prince Oluri, to act as chairman and take the next item on the agenda. Thank you.
The next item on the agenda is the re-election of retiring directors who have been eligible, have presented themselves for re-election. The directors are 1, Chief George Oguntade, SAN, Chairman. Dr. Edward Akinlade, GMD CEO. Ms. Abiola Elugbaju, ED. Mr. David Emulo, Executive Director. Mr. Olufemi Ojewande, Executive Director. All others are taken. This is in compliance with Section 2481 of CAMA. In line with the provision of Section 2851 of CAMA, which provides, unless the article provided at the first annual general meeting of the company, all directors shall retire from office, and at the annual general meeting in every subsequent year, 1/3 of the director of his member is not 3 or a multiple of 3, then the number nearest 1/3 shall retire from the office. Distinguished shareholders, the profile of the chairman and all the directors being re-elected is on page 5 to 9 of the annual report. I hereby move that the chairman, Mr. George Oguntade, SCN, be re-elected as the director of Haldane McCall Plc.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I hereby second the motion. I, Tijani Oluwani Shola Mukadam.
Will I now call on the registrar to conduct the voting process?
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Distinguished shareholders, the voting process will now commence. Kindly proceed to vote in line with your voting decision. The voting session is ongoing. We have less than 30 seconds to go. The voting session is gradually coming to an end, and the voting session has now ended. We have 2,347,976,840 shares, representing approximately 100% and all voting in favor of the resolution, while we have 1,800 shares representing approximately 0.0000% voting against this resolution. Thank you.
I hereby declare that the motion has been carried. Congratulations, Mr. Chairman, sir.
I thank you all very much, shareholders, for my re-election as the chairman of your company, Haldane McCall Plc. Thank you very much. What is the observation?
Good morning, everybody. My name is Anthony Kachi, President, Noble Shareholders Association. I welcome you to the stock exchange as a listed company. And in view of time factor, I want to suggest that we take the directors in batches of 3-3. Otherwise, if we do it one by one, it will consume a lot of time because you have a lot. If we can take them 3-3, it's a suggestion. Or we take them all and use one single resolution to approve it. Thank you very much.
There must be no dissenting voice. Huh? You understand? There must be no dissenting voice. Otherwise, we go back to square one. We can as well follow his pattern, but there must be no dissenting voice.
Yes, he spoke.
I think it is safer. I note the suggestion of the shareholder, but I think it's safer for our records, this being our first AGM, that things are done properly. We'll take it one by one, regardless of the time constraint. Please. Thank you. I hereby move that our GMD, Dr. Edward Akinlade, be re-elected as a director of Haldane McCall Plc. Would someone please rise and second the motion? He's here. Can we please have the name of the seconder of the motion?
Mrs. C.O. Obide, I second that motion.
Thank you, Mrs. Obide. I call on the registrars to please conduct the voting process.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Distinguished shareholders, the voting process will now commence. Kindly let's proceed to cast your votes in line with your voting decision. The voting session is ongoing. We have less than 30 seconds to go. The voting session is gradually coming to an end. The voting session has now ended. And we have 2,439,921,630 shares, representing a whole 100% and all voting in favor of the resolution. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. My name is Abioye Victoria. I so do.
Shareholders, the voting process will now commence. We are voting for Ms. Abiola Elugbaju. The voting process is ongoing. Stand. We have less than 30 seconds to go. The voting session is gradually coming to an end. The voting session has now ended, and we have 2,396,162,425 shares, representing a total of 100% and all voting in favor of the resolution. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Registrar. Carried. I hereby move that Mr. David Emulo be re-elected as a director of Haldane McCall Plc. Will someone please rise and second the motion? Mr. Robert Ibekwe.
Thank you. Oh, sorry. I bow.
Okay, Mr. Timothy Adesina. Right, thank you very much, sir. Would the registrar please conduct the voting process?
The voting session is ongoing. We have less than 30 seconds to go. We are gradually coming to the end of this session. The voting session has now ended, and we have 2,344,414,987 shares, representing a whole 100% and all voting in favor of the resolution.
Thank you very much, Mrs. James Cole. I hereby declare the motion has been unanimously carried. Next, I hereby move that Mr. Olufemi Ojewande be re-elected as the director of Haldane McCall Plc.
Okay.
Mr. Femi Oduyemi has seconded. Thank you, Mr. Oduyemi. Thank you very much. I call on the registrars to please conduct the voting process.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Distinguished shareholders, the voting session will now commence. Kindly proceed to vote in line with your voting decision. We have less than 30 seconds to go. The voting session is gradually coming to an end. The voting session has now ended. We have 2,396,256,652 shares, representing approximately 100% and voting in favor of the resolution, while we have 3,700 shares, representing approximately 0.0000% and voting against the resolution. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Mrs. James Cole. I hereby declare that the motion has been unanimously carried. Next, I hereby move that Sir Adewale Farinu be re-elected as the director of Haldane McCall Plc. Can I ask someone to please rise and second the motion? The gentleman in the cap, what's your name?
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. My name is Lawal Wahab Olatunji.
Thank you very much.
I like to second that motion.
Thank you, Mr. Olatunji. Will registrars please conduct the voting process for this motion?
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Distinguished shareholders, the voting process will now commence. Kindly let's proceed to vote in line with our voting decision.
Order, please. Voting is in session.
Please proceed. The voting is in session. We are gradually coming to the end of this voting session. Kindly display. I understand we have a bit of internet delay. The voting session has ended and the result is hereby projected. We have 2,395,773,108 shareholders, representing approximately 100% and all voting in favor of this resolution, while we have 5,700 shares representing approximately 0.00000% and voting against the resolution. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Mrs. James Cole. I hereby declare the motion has been unanimously carried. Next, I hereby move that Chief Mrs. Ebi Akala be re-elected as the Director of Haldane McCall Plc. Will someone please rise and second the motion? Yes, can we have a lady on the right here?
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. My name is Ifeanyi Julian Nkiruka. I second the motion.
Thank you very much, madam. Can I please ask the registrars to conduct the voting process?
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Distinguished shareholders, the voting process will now commence. Kindly proceed to vote in line with your voting decision. The voting session is ongoing. We have less than 30 seconds to go. We're gradually coming to the end of this voting session. The voting session has now ended, and we have 2,395,795,766 shares, representing approximately 100% and voting in favor of the resolution, while we have 5,200 shares, representing 0.00000% and voting against this resolution. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Mrs. James Cole. I hereby declare that the motion has again been unanimously carried. I hereby move that Princess Ifeoluwaseyi Adeshola be re-elected as the Director of Haldane McCall Plc. Will someone please rise and second the motion? Yes, the gentleman here.
Thank you, sir, Mr. Chairman. The name is Salah Mohammed Adebanjo. I rise to second that motion. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Mr. Adebanjo. Can I please ask the registrars to conduct the voting process?
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Distinguished shareholders, the voting session will now commence. Kindly proceed to vote in line with your voting decision, distinguished shareholders. Princess, the shareholder says you should sit down. We have 30 seconds to go. The voting session is gradually coming to an end. The voting session has now ended, and we have 2,399,969,405 shares, representing approximately 100% and voting in favor of the resolution, while we have 4,500 shares representing 0.0000% and voting against this resolution. Thank you.
Thank you, Mrs. Cole. I hereby declare that the motion has been unanimously carried. Next, I hereby move that Prince Samuel Oyebola be re-elected as the Director of Haldane McCall Plc. Will someone please rise and second the motion? The gentleman in front here, please. Yes.
Thank you very much, Mr. Chairman. The name is Prince Ridwan Hamza. I rise to do so.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much. Would registrars please conduct the voting process?
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Distinguished shareholders, the voting process has now commenced. Kindly proceed to vote in line with your voting decision.
Order, please. Order. Voting is in session. Please. Thank you.
We have less than 30 seconds to go. The voting session is gradually coming to an end. The voting session has now ended, and we have 2,479,298,476 302,196 shares, representing approximately 100% and voting in favor of this resolution, while we have 3,000 shares representing 0.000% and voting against this resolution. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Mrs. Cole. I hereby declare that the motion has been carried. Next, I move that Mr. Bidwell Onyekosi be re-elected as the director of Haldane McCall Plc. Will someone please rise and second the motion? That gentleman at the end there, yes. The gentleman in the orange shirt.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. My name is Makonjola Oladayakin. I support the motion.
Thank you. Thank you. Will registrars please conduct the voting process?
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Distinguished shareholders, the voting process will now commence. Kindly let's proceed to vote in line with our voting decisions. Distinguished shareholders, please vote. We have less than 30 seconds to go. The voting session is gradually coming to an end. The voting session has now ended, and we have 2,434,786,934 shares, representing approximately 100% and all voting in favor of the resolution, while we have 17,186 shares, representing 0.0000% and voting against this resolution. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Mrs. Cole. I hereby declare that the motion has been carried. Next, I hereby move that His Royal Majesty Oba Nasiruddin Babatunde Akanbi, with the Onishasha of Ishasha, be re-elected as a director of Haldane McCall Plc. Before I proceed, may I start by apologizing for the absence of the Oba at this meeting. Apparently, he had to go into a very urgent meeting with the governor of Lagos State. He was called at the very, very last minute, and unfortunately, he could not attend. So please, he has sent his apologies, and I ask that you please accept that apology. Thank you. Will someone please rise to second the motion? Gentleman here.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I second the motion.
What's your
My name is Ige John Kenneth. Ige John Kenneth.
Thank you very much. Can I please ask the registrars to conduct the voting process?
Distinguished shareholders, the voting process will now commence. Kindly proceed to vote in line with your voting decision. The voting session is still ongoing. We have less than 30 seconds to go. Kindly vote if you've not voted. Thousand 677 shares, representing approximately 100% and voting in favor of the resolution, while we have 20,297 shares, representing 0.0000% and voting against this resolution. Thank you.
Thank you, Mrs. Cole. I hereby declare that the motion has been carried. Next, I hereby move that Mrs. Olajumoke Oluwagbemiro be re-elected as the director of Haldane McCall Plc. Will someone please rise and second the motion? The gentleman in orange shirt on my left.
Excuse me.
The gentleman in the orange shirt.
I hereby second the motion. Aziz Lukman is the name. Aziz Lukman.
Thank you very much. Will the registrars please conduct the voting process?
Kindly proceed to vote in line with your voting decision. Thank you. The voting process is ongoing. The votes are not going as they should. Kindly proceed to vote. Please, if you have the device, kindly proceed to vote. We are gradually coming to an end. The voting process has now ended, and we have 2,289,649,097 shares, representing approximately 100% and voting in favor of the resolution, while we have 6,200 shares, representing 0.0000% voting against this resolution.
Thank you, Mrs. Cole. I hereby declare that the motion has been duly carried. Next, I hereby move that Mr. Adekoje be re-elected as a director of Haldane McCall Plc. Will someone please rise and second the motion? The gentleman there, please.
Hello. Thank you, Mr. Chairman. The name is Martins Akim Abiola. I also second the motion.
Thank you very much. Will the registrars please conduct the voting process?
The voting process will now commence. Kindly proceed to vote in line with your voting decision. Thank you. The voting process is ongoing. We have less than 30 seconds to go. The voting process is gradually coming to an end. Mr. Adedapo, the shareholders want you to have your seat. The voting process has now ended. We have 2,388,206,281 shares, representing approximately 100% and all voting in favor of the resolution, while we have 2,500 shares, representing 0.0000% voting against the resolution. Thank you.
Thank you, Mrs. Cole. I hereby declare that the motion has been carried. Last but not doubt the least, I hereby move that Mr. Tobina Nnamani be re-elected as a director of Haldane McCall Plc. Will someone please rise to second the motion? I call on Mr. Robert Ibekwe to please second the motion.
Thank you very much, Chairman. Mr. Tobena, you are welcome. I second that motion. Ibekwe Robert Adenoba is my name.
Thank you, Mr. Ibekwe. Will the registrar please conduct the voting process?
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Distinguished shareholders, the voting process will now commence. Kindly proceed to vote in line with your voting decision. The voting session is ongoing. Distinguished shareholders, kindly vote. The voting session has now ended, and we have 2,435,652,756 shares, representing approximately 100% and voting in favor of the resolution, while we have 3,500 shares, representing 0.00000% and voting against this resolution. Thank you.
Thank you, Mrs. Cole. I hereby declare that the motion has been duly carried. On this note, I want to thank all shareholders for your cooperation. Thank you very much. It has made the entire process very, very seamless. Thank you. The next item on the agenda is to authorize the directors to fix the remuneration of the auditors. Messrs. Funsho, Owoyemi and Co. have acted as auditors to the company since their last appointment. Section 361, subsection 1 of the Company and Allied Matters Act requires that their remuneration be fixed by the company in a general meeting or in such a manner as the company in general meeting may determine. I hereby move that the directors be and are hereby authorized to fix the auditor's remuneration for the year ending December 31, 2025. registrars. I call on the registrars to please conduct the voting process.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Distinguished shareholders, the voting process will now commence. Kindly let's proceed to vote in line with our voting decision. The voting session is ongoing. They will project it. They will project it. It will be projected shortly. Please exercise patience. Okay, I understand the voting has not commenced. Please exercise a bit of patience. It's a network glitch. So the voting process is now on. Kindly proceed to vote. We still have 30 seconds. The voting session is ongoing, please. We're gradually coming to the end of this voting session. The voting session has now ended. We have 2,341,076,895 shares representing approximately 100% and voting in favor of the resolution. While we representing, okay, I'll announce it again. We have 2,388,649,653 shares representing approximately 100% and voting in favor of the resolution, while we have 2,730 shares representing 0.000% and voting against the resolution. Thank you.
Thank you, Mrs. Cole. I hereby declare the motion has been duly carried. The next item for consideration is to disclose the remuneration of the managers. Section 238 of the Companies and Allied Matters Act 2020 requires companies to disclose the remuneration of managers. Please refer on this to page 17 of the annual report for details of the remuneration of managers as required by law. This is for information purposes only. The next item that we'll consider is to approve the remuneration of the directors for the year 2025. I hereby move that the remuneration of directors be and is hereby approved for the year 2025. Will someone please rise to second the motion?
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I support the motion. My name is Owola Abiduddin Adekunle.
Thank you very much. I now call on the registrars to conduct the voting process.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Distinguished shareholders, kindly proceed to vote in line with your voting decision. The voting process has now commenced.
Yes.
Thank you very much, Mr. Chairman.
The voting session, sorry,
is
is
suspended.
on.
The voting session is suspended. The voting session is suspended. Mr. Chairman, shareholders sought to know how much the directors are earning.
Can I please ask the shareholder to please sit down? The voting is in process. We'll address
Mr. Chairman,
afterwards.
I raised the point of order before. Hold on, sir. Hold on. Mr. Chairman, I'll be a company secretary, rather. If shareholders, you want the shareholders to approve this pay, right? So if they're asking for how much they are approving, it is within our rights to know it. And I think it is necessary and incumbent upon you anyways to actually address that question. Thank you.
Please, 1 second. I will address it very shortly. 1 second, please. So to respond briefly to it, the directors, the sitting allowance for the directors is 200,000 per board meeting attended, and for the chairman, it's 400,000 sitting allowance. That's the information. The sitting allowances earned by directors per board meeting is 200,000, and for the chairman, it's 400,000 naira. Okay? Please.
Okay, so next year, if we come here, we look at the number of meetings you held in the whole year. If it is 2 meetings that were held, each director would not earn more than 400,000 naira, while the chairman would not earn more than 800,000 naira. Is that what you're saying?
What is this? What I just told you is that the chairman earns 400,000 naira per board meeting. And we have approximately 4 board meetings in a year. Okay? Please, can we please make progress? Can we proceed with the voting session, please? Thank you very much.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. The voting session on the approval for the remuneration of the directors for the year 2025 has been done, and the result is hereby projected. We have 2,387,919,334 shares, representing 98.05% voting in favor of the resolution, while we have 47,464,000, representing 1.95% voting against the resolution. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Mrs. Cole. The motion has been duly carried. So the next item on the agenda is a motion to a general mandate be given to the company to enter into recurring transactions with related parties for the company's day-to-day operations, including, amongst others, the procurement of goods and services on normal commercial terms. I hereby move that the company be given a general... Can I please have some silence, please? I hereby move that the company be given a general mandate to enter into recurrent transactions with related parties for the company's day-to-day operations, including, amongst others, the procurement of goods and services on normal commercial terms. Can I please ask that someone rise to second this motion? The lady in front here. The lady here, please.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. My name is Moturaya Kudrat. I so do, sir.
Thank you very much. Can registrars please conduct the voting process?
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Distinguished shareholders, the voting process will now commence. Kindly proceed to vote in line with your voting decision. Thank you. It is on now. Thank you. Thank you. Distinguished shareholders, the voting process is ongoing. We have less than 30 seconds to go. We are gradually coming to the end of this resolution, and the voting process has now ended. We have 2,336,570,072 shares, representing 98.01% and voting in favor of the resolution, while we have 47,468,500 shares, representing 1.99% voting against this resolution. Thank you.
Thank you, Mrs. Cole. I hereby declare that the motion has been duly carried. Next, I hereby move that the directors be and are hereby authorized to increase the share capital of the company by the creation of an additional 2,627,310,000 ordinary shares of 50 kobo each, and approve the raising of capital through a rights issue, and authorize the directors to determine the size and price of the rights issue. Would someone please rise to second this motion? I want a lady. I want a lady.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. My name is Aditola Adeyemo. I second the motion.
Thank you very much. Registrars, can you please conduct the voting process?
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Distinguished shareholders, the voting process will now commence. Kindly proceed to vote in line with your voting decision. Kindly proceed to vote, sirs. We have less than 30 seconds to go.
Black man. You do record inside.
The voting session is gradually coming to an end. The voting session has now ended, and we have 2,344,521,506 shares, representing 98.01% voting in favor of the resolution, while we have 47,489,531 shares, representing 1.99% voting against this resolution. Thank you.
Thank you, Mrs. Cole. I hereby declare that the motion has been duly carried. The next item on our agenda is a motion to amend the memorandum and articles of association of the company to include the increased share capital of the company from 3,122,000,000 to 5,749,310,000. I hereby move that the MEMAT of the company be and is hereby amended to increase the share capital of the company from 3,122,000,000 to 5,749,310,000. Would someone please rise to second this motion? The man at the back, the man in white at the back, right at the end.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. My name is Lawal Luakim. I do second the motion.
Thank you very much. Will the registrars please conduct the voting process?
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Distinguished shareholders, the voting process will now commence. Kindly proceed to vote in line with your voting decisions. The voting session is ongoing. We are gradually coming to the end of this voting session. The voting session has now ended, and we have 2,344,445. Sorry. The voting session has ended, and the results reads thus: 2,388,105,195 shares, representing 98.05% and voting in favor of the resolution, while we have 47,467,000, representing 1.95% voting against the resolution. Thank you.
Thank you, Mrs. Cole. I hereby declare the motion has been carried. The next item on the agenda is a motion to approve and authorize the raising of additional capital of 250 billion in tranches via debt instruments for the funding of the group's expansion program, and upon such conditions to be determined at the discretion of the directors, subject to any requisite regulatory approvals. Accordingly, I hereby move that the motion to raise additional capital of 250 billion in tranches via debt instruments for the funding of the group's expansion program, and upon such conditions to be determined at the discretion of the directors, subject to any requisite regulatory approvals. Can I please ask someone to please rise to second this motion? The gentleman there, please.
Thank you, my honorable chairman. I mistook you for the former Supreme Court judge. You know, I didn't know you are not. I rise to approve and second the motion. Thank you. Bami Shile is the name. Bami Shile.
Thank you very much, Mr. Bami Shile. I now call on the registrars to please conduct the voting process.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Distinguished shareholders, kindly proceed to vote in line with your voting decision. The voting session has commenced. The voting session is ongoing. Kindly proceed to vote. Yeah, thank you. We have less than 30 seconds to go. The voting session has now ended, and we have 2,391,970,550 shares representing approximately 100% and voting in favor of this resolution, while we have 20,000 shares representing 0.0000%
Order, please. Order, please.
and voting against this resolution. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Mrs. Cole. I hereby declare that the motion has been duly carried. The next item on the agenda is a motion to approve the following amended sections. Can you please have some order, please? The next item on the agenda is a motion to approve the following amended sections of the memorandum and articles of the company, which has now complied with the provisions of Appendix 7, Rule of the Exchange 2015, the issuer's rule, to include thus: A, Section 1(4), that the shares of the company have been fully paid and are also free from all liens except as otherwise prescribed by the operation of law. B, Section L, A to I, that the borrowing powers of directors have been limited to an aggregate amount at any time owing in respect of monies borrowed by the company and its subsidiary companies, exclusive of intercompany borrowings, and do not exceed a reasonable amount except with the consent of the company in general meeting. C, Section L, A to 2, that directors shall not vote on any contract, arrangement, or proposal in which he or she is interested, and if he or she does vote, that the vote shall not be counted. D, Section J, I, that the structure of the share capital of the company has been stated, and where the capital of more than one class of security, it must also be stated how the various classes shall rank for any distribution by way of dividend or otherwise. E, Section L, E to I, that the power to give notice by advertisement have been altered to include in at least 2 leading national daily newspapers. F, Section J.I., that notices shall be given only to those members whose registered addresses are within Nigeria, and any member whose registered address is not within Nigeria may name an address within Nigeria which shall, for the purposes of the notice, shall be considered as the registered address. I hereby move the motion to amend sections of the amendment of the company to include the above clauses. Can someone please rise to second the motion? The lady in front of me here, please. Your name?
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. My name is Taiwo Adebike. I second the motion.
Thank you very much, madam. Can the registrars please conduct the voting process?
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Distinguished shareholders, kindly proceed to vote in line with your voting decision as the voting session has now commenced. The voting session is ongoing. We have less than 30 seconds to go. The voting session has now ended, and we have 2,335,745,359 shares, representing 98.01% voting in favor of the resolution, while we have 47,471,781 shares, representing 1.99% and voting against the resolution. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Mrs. Cole. I hereby declare the motion duly carried. The next item for
conduct the election. Shareholders, can we sit down, please, while we conduct the election? Distinguished shareholders, can we sit down? Distinguished shareholders, can we sit down? Distinguished shareholders, can we sit down? We want to start conducting the election, please.
Please, can we please be seated?
For all those in favor of... Distinguished shareholders, can we proceed?
Shareholders here. Distinguished shareholders. Some have resigned. Revise of what? Revise of what? No, they are not voting with device. No, we. Okay, please go and sit down. You don't teach us. You don't teach.
Listen. Teach you your job.
Election has started and we are counting. Election has started. Election has started. Please, please, Oga, go to your seat. Go to your seat. If you are not on your seat, we will not count you. If you are not on your seat, we will not count you. Registrar staff, please go ahead and count. And count it so that people will hear as you're counting. Buki, go ahead and count. Count, 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 count. Please sit down. It's only your hand I want to see. Are you done counting? Are you done counting? Thank you. Can we have the numbers? We are done counting for Juliet Baker. Please put down your hands. We are finished counting for her. You have noted it. Yes. What's your number? Please add up. Have you given? So we are voting for the next person. Please, shareholders, silence so we can conduct this election quietly. Thank you very much.
For those voting in favor of Mr. Henry Folami Ololade Balogun, please raise up your hands.
Please count. Registrar staff, go ahead and count. Don't say we are counting. Please count, count, count. Please count. No talking, no talking. Just raise your hand. It's only your hand I want to see. If you are not raising your hand, stay. If you are raising your hand, raise your hand so we'll count you. Thank you very much.
Are we done counting?
We are done counting. Please, can you come forward? Those that counted, come and confirm you are finished counting. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Okay, call the next contestant.
For those voting in favor of Mayowa Emmanuel, please raise up your hands.
We are voting for Mayowa Emmanuel. Please raise up your hand. Hello. Please count. They are shareholders, please. These people here are shareholders. We have record that they are
Are you done counting? Are you done counting? Thank you.
Please, one house, one house, one house. Silence, silence, please. Silence, please. Silence, please.
Thank you. Are we done? Are we done?
Some shareholders don't have seat, they are outside. So please, we are counting them.
For those voting in favor of Olugbenga Olowojare, please raise your hands. Olugbenga Olowojare. We are voting for Olugbenga Olowojare.
Are we finished counting? Please, let's count. They are shareholders. I validate that they are all shareholders. One house, please, one house. One house, please. Are we done counting? Please,
are we done counting?
Are we finished counting? Okay, please. Thank you. Registrar, call the next person. For those voting in favor of David Abimbola Solomon. He's not For here. those voting in favor of Dixon Osage.
No, see the dates I marked.
Dixon Osage.
See, there are people I marked, please. Those are the
For those voting in favor of Adelaku Lukman.
Adelaku Lukman.
Adeshola.
Adelaku Lukman. Adelaku Lukman. Only one hand, please. Raise only one hand. Don't raise two hands. Don't raise two hands. One hand, please. Go ahead and count. Please, let's count. Let's count. Let's count. Let's count. Please, let's count. Let's count.
Are we done counting?
Don't stand up, please. Don't stand up. They will see you and count you. It's only your hand I want to see.
Thank you. And so the next person. For those voting in favor of Adeshiyo Adedayo Oludare.
Adeshiyo Adedayo. Adeshiyo Adedayo. Adeshiyo Adedayo. Adeshiyo Adedayo. Please, let's count.
Thank you. Thank you. For those voting.
Are we finished counting?
Thank you.
Okay, next contestant, please, sir. Next contestant.
For those voting in favor of Salau Mohammed Adebanjo.
Salau Mohammed. Salau Mohammed. Oga Ibo, can you sit down? Oga Ibo, can you sit down? Please sit down. Please, let's count. Let's count.
Are we done counting? Thank you. And last but not the least, those voting in favor of Aziz Ridwan Okilola. Okay, thank you.
We're done voting for the 7 people.
Yes.
Okay, please.
For the 7.
Few minutes, so we'll give you the result. We'll project
Thank you,
the result.
distinguished shareholders. Please give us a few minutes to
Yes,
collect
please.
the
You can
result.
return to your seats.